So we're all going through some kind of loss. Some of us, you know, are losing people within our lives and stuff. So on the scale of things, you know, I do have it in perspective, right? And so, however, it's still loss. It's still, you know, a space of where things are changing. A lot of times, I tell students to interpret. There's a part of our practice which is, you know, one of our afflictions is fear of death, and that's ultimately what corpse pose or shavasana, dead man's pose, is allowing you to be in. So there, you know, it's not just like death of the body, it's the death of relationships, death of things, people, places, jobs, businesses, you know, ideas, owners, things, right? And so ultimately that's change. It's not essentially death is a harsh word that humans use in a fatalistic way. However, it doesn't have to be that way, right? You know. So how do we deal with this? You know, there's like 7 stages of grief, and I think I went through denial of like, this is gonna be okay, we'll be out on the other side for the first couple weeks. And right now I'm oscillating between a little bit of like depression and anger and anxiety, and you know, this kind of middle ground where you're actually processing, right? You're getting rid of the things you don't need and keeping the things that you do, ultimately is what's happening. But it's this heightened level of energy because it's a processing moment, right? And so this morning I had probably one of the best practices I've had in a very long time. And you know, when I say practice, I don't mean like I'm flinging myself into handstands, which it could be that as far as the physical part. But what I mean is I had a good practice. Is that I mean I had a good insight. So I don't just physically practice yoga. I get on my mat because I am trying to come to center. I am trying to find my way through the jungle of my own thoughts and emotions and experiences. And that's why I personally returned to my mat. And in that moment, I was just like, you know, I got denied for unemployment, and the loan situation is a hot mess. If any of you guys have been applying for loans through the government, no, right now, really everything, here you go, everything is just like in this heightened agitation. And gratefully, one thing I have to say is every government official that I have talked to about help has been the kindest, sweetest person that I have talked to. And I have to say that, you know, everybody that is hustling to try to get people loans and unemployment and business and all of this stuff, thank you for what you're doing, because you are doing it with a sense of kind words and energy on the other side of the phone that is really refreshing, especially in these now moments. But because it's been so stressful, and you know, I don't have any real way to move forward or any direction. I was, you know, just yesterday was a really depressed day, and then this morning I was just like, you know, I was angry. And then I was like, all right, the one thing I can do in this very moment is do my practice, because it always brings me center line, right? And so I got on my mat, and I had my favorite little teacher up on the phone giving me an online class, right? And it was just a short 30-minute practice. And at the end of the practice, I felt so much better. I felt centered. I felt like, okay, I can tackle this again today. And in that moment, I realized, holy shit, that's what I give to my students. I give you guys, look, you go, I give you guys those moments. And sometimes it's hard to forget that those are, that's my job, that's my calling. And sometimes I get caught up into self and worry for self and forget purpose, right? And it doesn't mean that I can be all into purpose. Everything can't be shanti, shanti, shanti. But to a large degree, we all have a purpose. And your purpose might be, like one of my wonderful friends, Scott, has just been delivering food left and right. Amazing, amazing. I've seen people in my personal community, in the burn community, really hustle and start organizing to help the homeless and everything, which we'll be a part of coming up this month. And I was in my own turmoil forgetting my purpose. And my purpose is to hold space for you so that you can get a moment of relief, so that you can then, again, tackle whatever your purpose is for today. My purpose is to be a conduit and to hold space. And because it is an energy outward thing, sometimes I forget to refill my own banks so that I can continue to give out. And that's the same for you. You might not be, someone that holds space for meditation and things like that, but you might carry food to people. You might be a healthcare worker. You might be a phone service worker or a loan processor that is desperately trying to help all these really, really scared people right now. So there's a lot of giving that we've got out in the world, but we also have to learn to take a little bit, right? And in this morning, in my taking of my own personal yoga class, I realized and remembered what my purpose was and it was to give you these moments of peace. Don't have to do any more, any less, right? And so we're going to start that today. Just simply taking a moment's peace of what today can be, right? So typically I start every day with, or every one of those moments with breath work. And so I'd like you to get a simple seated position, feel comfortable wherever you're at. If you would like to prop up onto a pillow, you can do so, so that your back feels better and it allows you to sit tall. That's one of the things. We try to sit on the floor because we see every other yogi sitting on the floor. We think we're supposed to do that. I could care less. Sit up in a chair. What I want for you is you to be able to sit up tall in a way that the rib cage will truly expand and you can breathe rather than collapsing in like you're on a computer or cell phone that cuts down your oxygen, right? So we're just gonna sit up, right? Sit up, open up your chest. If your chest was made of plexiglass and you were trying to show someone your heart, what would that stance look like? And so as you take that, you'll feel your shoulders relax down. You might want to move your neck a little bit, maybe move your jaw a little bit. If you've been sleeping, there might be some small amounts of tension and gripping in the jaw or in the neck. Maybe you haven't been sleeping. Maybe you've been sleeping too much. All of the above. Okay. And then we're going to come to stillness once you get all your little wiggles out and feel set up. I want you to just notice your breath. Don't try to change it. Don't try to form it. Don't try to be anything but what it is, right? Don't struggle with the allergies or trying to pace the breath in a particular way. Feeling the hackles on the back of your neck and in between your shoulder blades start to soften. And just feel the breath. There's nothing to do here in this particular moment except to feel the pace of your breathing. It seems so simplistic, but it's truly all it is. Feel the pace, the tempo, feel the experience of the breath. It's chilly out there. And then once you notice the breath and you can feel it moving in through the nose and out through the nose in a manner that is enjoyable to you, I want you to experience the breath a little in the left rib cage and the left side of the body. And so what I mean by that is just to take your mind there and feel how the left side of the body moves and shifts and shimmies. How it softens and opens for the inhale, how there might be these light contractions on that side. And just if your mind wanders from the left lung and left rib cage, just continually bring it back to that feeling, that moment of how it feels to breathe in through the left side. Nothing magical, just true awareness. And then take your awareness over to the right side of the rib cage, right? In the right lung. Just let the breath move through that space. How does it feel? What is the movement? And then maybe noticing as you breathe through both sides, like what is the difference between the breath on the right and the left side? Is there any difference? Can you tell that there's a difference? Really interesting thing, can you feel that your left lung is a little smaller than your right? Make space for the heart and the liver, so it's slightly smaller. Can you feel the difference in that, or does it feel the same? And it's not a bad thing if you can't tell the difference in your lung sizes. What it is taking time to pay attention to that. Even noticing just, oh, okay. And then just notice how long it takes you to inhale. So maybe count that pace mentally. And then notice how you'll do a gentle pause. It's almost like how a swing, when you're on a swing, you swing one way and then it holds in space for just a moment, and then it swings back the other way, holds in space for just a moment. And so if you can just get an identity of a time span of what your inhale is, what that swing, what that arc looks like, with that gentle pause and that mid-air floating space, and it should feel like that float at the end of a really high swing on a swing set, right? Before it comes back down through the other side and does the same thing. And so get kind of a cadence, a number. And then let the number go and just pay attention to the swing in your breath, that natural sway back and forth. You've ever been underneath the ocean and watched the swaying of seaweed as the ocean tides roll over it? You can tell there's this this floating little spin and spiral at the end of each sway in each direction. And we want to keep that nice S shape to our breath. And as you continue to feel that sway of the inhale, that swing and float, and then that swing, just like you were on a swing set, and exhaling back and settling into that smooth space. Any thoughts begin to rise, just bring it back to that smooth sway of the breath. Maybe even feel that childlike experience of being on a swing as you breathe. One of my favorite summertime experiences is be out in that perfect summer air with just enough breeze, just enough shade as that swing would come out from the canopy of the trees into the sunlight and warm you for just a moment, and you swing back. And you let that natural swaying, that natural swinging feeling to the breath, that natural vinyasa, that natural thread or flow, right? And then softly open your eyes. So normally I turn off the Facebook because we go into a live class. Yesterday we had a little bit of a glitch, so I'm going to leave that on, but I'm going to leave it on too because if you guys would like to join us in just the little physical practice to center up, joining us on Facebook, let that be my gift today. I feel like a lot of times getting out into the world is one of the greatest things that you can do to get yourself out of yourself. So standing tall at the top of the mat, coming back into that breath. And so let the eyes close, and you'll notice that that breath has that gentle sway feeling here. You'll even, with an eyes closed in a mountain pose, you'll feel natural swaying forward and back. Don't try to sway forward and back. Let the breath carry you forward and back naturally. Let the experience of the breath be like a rocking chair, like that swing on the playground in the summertime. And then let's carry that experience into a physical practice. And so feel the swing of the arms upward. Feel the exhale go out as you swan dive and forward fold. Try to get the hands flat on the floor, even if you need to bend the knees dramatically to do so. We're going to bring the hands onto the shins, and we're going to slowly float up, inflate with the breath coming halfway up. On our exhale, our hands are going to plant flatly down, stepping back to your plank position, push-up position. You may drop to your knees if you'd like. On your exhale, feel that breath as you come halfway down. On your inhale, roll those shoulders back, come to the tops of the feet, up dog. Drop those knees, tuck those toes, shifting the hips back to lift into your down dog. Staying here for 5 breaths. Feel the sway of the breath. Connect with the moment. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, slowly walk your feet to the top of the mat for this go round. Big toes are together. Feel that swing. Feel that body come halfway up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands go down. Try to get them flat. Inhale, all the way up. Reach up, stretch up. Hands at the sides, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, hands go down. Feel the breath, feel it moving. Try to put the hands flat as you fold into the leg. And then bring your hands onto your shins, come halfway up. Feel the spine long. Exhale, put the hands down, step back, plank position. On your exhale, lower halfway down. On your inhale, up dog, tops of the feet. Exhale, down dog, hips are high. Staying here for 5 breaths. Notice the cadence of the breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Hearing the sound of the breath in the background. Bend the knees on your inhale. This time, if you want to do a little hop, at the very end of the exhale, do so. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale comes all the way up, reach up. Let those hands drop along the sides. Close the eyes. Feel the natural sway that happens when the eyes are closed. Feel the breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Feel the low belly hollow back just slightly so your low back is supported though. Maybe beginning to hear like birds in the background, little signs of life that bring joy in the moment. And then flowing like water into chair pose with your inhale. On your exhale, hands down, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands flat, step or hop back to low plank, chaturanga. Inhale to your up dog. Exhale, goes to your down dog. You can stay there or come with me. Left heel spins flat, right foot steps forward. Inhale, come up into your warrior one. As soon as you're up, you're down, flowing smoothly. You can drop to your knees if you need to. Inhale to your up dog. Exhale to your down dog as right foot spins flat. Left foot steps forward. Use the inhale to come up to warrior one. Palms will press. Exhale, lowers all the way down. Let this be a flow. Let it be like a rocking chair. Let it be a back and forth that rolls your line. Inhale, one. Inhale, two. Feel the sides of the waist grow long. Inhale, three. And the back of the neck and the jawline soften. Inhale, 4. Exhale, at the very end of that exhale, hop if you'd like. Right into the inhale of your Betty Boop. Hands can come to shins if you need to. Exhale, forward fold, jaw and back of the neck are soft. On our inhale, floating to our chair pose, palms are pressing. Exhale, mountain pose, standing tall. Inhale, chair pose, sit back. Exhale, forward fold. Let this be a moving meditation. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands flat, step or hop back, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, lift your hips, down dog. Left heel down, right foot forward. Inhale, Vera 1. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right heel down, left foot forward. Inhale, Vera 1. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths here. And so if your breath has gotten out of whack, bring it back in time. Inhale. Exhale in a manner that is still fluid, still has a little swing in it. On your next exhale, at the very end, you can hop right into the inhale of your Betty Boop. Exhale, forward fold. Find your chair pose. Inhale, swing those arms up. Mountain pose, top of the mat. So you should feel a little more centered. You should feel like everything is slowed down just enough. We're going to move into the next part of practice. Ashtanga typically steps out to the side. So make sure if you step out with your right foot, you can see me. So we're standing in mountain pose at the top of the mat. I'm going to ask you to step out with your right foot to the side. Pull your second toes at 12 o'clock. Take your arms out. This is called home base. We're going to pivot the right foot out at a 12 o'clock position. A heel to heel alignment. Reach out over that right leg. Open up those arms into a 6 and 12 position. Those of you who can grab a hold of the big toe may do so, bringing the hand just above the eye. Inhale 1. Where's the mind? Where's the breath? Inhale 2. Inhale 3. Feel your breath. Inhale 4. Unlock your front knee. Inhale 5. Comes up. Use the breath to tick tock. As you go into that 5th exhale, you're going to settle into the posture. My hips are happy with this pose this morning. Turn and look up at the top thumb. Trying to bring your body out over this front leg. Inhale 1. 2. 3. 4. Inhale 5 carries you up. Exhale 5, right foot to the back of your mat. Left toes come around pretty dramatically. You're going to take the left hand and put it on the floor. Maybe you bend the right knee. Maybe you even come into a crescent twist by lifting the back heel. But everybody takes the right hand high. So you're either in revolving triangle with straight legs. You may have your hand to the outside or inside of the front foot. Inhale 2. Squeezing everything to the center line. Inhale 3. Inhale 4. And inhale 5. Come all the way up on that breath. Tick-tock around. So you're either coming into crescent twist, which is like a lunge with the hand down, or some form of revolving triangle. In through the nose. 3. 2. and 1. Inhale carries you up to our home base. We're going to drop those hands down behind the back. Then turn off your mic. Drop the hands down behind the back. You're going to braid the fingers so that the palms come together. Second toes are back at a 12 o'clock. Your knees are unlocked, right? 98% straight. Come over. Crown of the head comes to the floor. Knuckles actively reach up towards the sky. In through the nose, out through the nose. And so as you reach up with the knuckles, try to allow the back of the neck to grow longer and longer and longer. 3. Feel how you'll rock back and forth in your feet. Can you come real center so there's even weight in the front of the foot and the ball of the foot and the heel. The arches are active. Bring those hands to hips. Inhale comes halfway up. And then take another inhale, come all the way up. We're going to take our hands onto our waistline at the smallest part of a corset with our thumbs back onto our spine, trying to wing our elbows back out of the vision. Second toes are at 12 o'clock still. Come over, unlocking your knees, squeezing your elbows together. Inhale, 1. Back of the neck is long because the elbows are reaching up towards the ceiling. 2. Strong, strong, strong in the shoulder blades. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale comes halfway up. And then use the next inhale to come all the way up. We're going to step to the top of the mat into a mountain pose. Once you arrive in that mountain pose, bring your second toes together. On your inhale, sit back into your chair. On your exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, lift halfway. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Now, staying here in your up dog, go ahead and lower down. We're going to bring our legs closer together. We're going to do skydiver. It's not officially called that. But a lot of people can't do full bow, and full bow at the beginning of the class is too intense anyway. So we're going to learn to fire up our legs a little bit. So bring your legs, bring your feet together. So heels and big toes are touching, knees are bent. Arms are out to the side like you're doing a military push-up. Tint up onto your fingertips as though you are being from Adam's family, right? So we're going to lift our thighs off the floor. See how my knees lifted? My feet are still together, and then I'm going to lift my hands. So I should look like I'm skydiving. Holding here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice and easy. You're going to stretch those legs out, tuck those toes under, get long in the back of the neck. Push up on an inhale, exhale goes to that down dog. Staying here and breathing, inhale 1. Experiencing the breath, inhale 2. Feel the inhale 3. Inhale 4, mind is relaxing. At the end of the 4th exhale, do a little bunny hop. Inhale in steady. And exhale, fold. Big toes are touching, heels are not. Inhale, chair pose. Staying here, 5 breaths. Pressing your palms, pressing your thumbs. You can sit lower as long as you've got some weight into the heels. 3, 2, and 1. Hands at the sides. Very good. Take the feet, step out with the right foot. We're stepping out into a super, super large home base. So feet should be underneath wrist. We're going to pivot the right foot towards the top of the mat, or its perspective top of the mat. We're going into side angle. Modification is between the elbow onto the top of the knee and swinging the arm over so you have a nice long line from back heel through the top fingertips. Those of you who want more can put the hand floor or block outside of the front foot. Gaze is at the fingertips. Inhale, 1, 2. Move that breath. Don't take shallow little breaths. Move it. 3, 4. Inhale, 5 comes up. Exhale, 5 settles into that warrior 2, into your version of side angle. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 5 comes up. From here, we're turning to home base today. Second toes at 12 o'clock. We are going to grab a hold of our second toes with our peace fingers, right? Once we come over, I want you to grab a hold of those toes strongly. The toes press down, the head reaches down. So I'm trying to pull my toes up, but my toes are resisting. So it makes the arches of my feet stronger. Inhale, 1. Shoulders are not earrings. Inhale, 2. 3. 4. Inhale, 5, halfway up. Exhale, hands to hips. And then inhale, flat back all the way up. Turn to step at the top of the mat, mountain pose. Roll the shoulders down and back. Standing tall, bring the right knee up, right hand onto right kneecap. Right foot should look as though it's standing up onto a big box, holding here. Inhale, 1, 2. Those of you who want more, take the leg long. 3, 4. Open out to the side on your 5th inhale. Captain Morgan. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 5, come center. Hands are onto hips. Hold. Inhale, 1. Everybody's leg is straight. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release it down. Other side. So the knee is either bent or the leg is straight. Holding on to the toe, whichever is more available to you today. Inhale, 1. We still want that upright posture because the breath is the most important. So we're not having that computer or cell phone posture here. Inhale, 2. Moving the breath, being very conscious. 3, 4. Inhale, 5. Moves it out to the side. Hold. Look over your right shoulder if you have your balance. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 5, comes back center. Everybody straightens their leg and brings their hands to their hips. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release. Wonderful. Standing tall at the top of your mat. Big toes are touching, heels are not. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga. Up dog. And then once again, we're going to come back down to the floor. So we're going to do half bow and then some fun stuff with half bow. So if you have, you can use a towel, you can use a necktie, you can use a belt, you know, use an actual yoga strap. I actually have a daisy chain, which are actually pretty nice. I like daisy chains for yoga practice. So have that handy dandy. Even a hand towel, if you're fairly open, can work. Neckties are definitely good. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring the legs together. We're going to bring the big toes and the heels together. We're going to take those hands back along the sides. Notice that my palms are facing up and my fingernails are pressing down. What I'm doing here is I'm pulling my shoulder blades together and I'm only lifting my face enough that I still have a long back of neck. I'm just keeping my ears and my shoulders aligned as I pull my shoulders back. I'm not jutting my head forward. So fingernails press, shoulder blades squeeze, head aligns. We're going to squeeze the feet together. So squeeze your big toes and your heels together. Pull your navel in and lift up, locust posture. Breathing here. Active, active, active in the shoulder blades. 3, 2, and 1. Keep everything lifted. Bring those little T-Rex arms in and bring those little Addams Family fingers along your low ribs. And squeeze for 4. Feet are together, heels are together, legs are stretching back. 3, 2, and 1. Put the feet down, plant the hands, push up dog, hold here. Pull that heart forward. And come back down, press back, down dog. Let the back of the neck go, press the floor away. Inhale, floats to plank. Exhale, lowers down. There. So if you don't have one of these, that's fine. This is just going to help you go a little deeper into the posture. Not necessary, it just shifts your arm in a different stretch, right? So leave that there for now. We'll take this on the second round. You're going to extend your right arm forward, your right leg back. You're going to bend your left knee and grab a hold of the top of the foot or the ankle, whichever one is more appropriate for you today. I want you to lift that knee up off the mat. Let's see, it's lifting. I'm going to press the foot back like I'm trying to straighten the leg, and then I'm going to keep everything else planted. In through the nose, out through the nose. Move the breath, deep, deep, deep. And release. Other side. Left hand is going to come forward. Right hand is going to reach back. And notice I'm not like way forward here. I want this left hand to help me just a little bit, but not push it into my back. More like help me lift my sternum up. Right? And so once I get a hold of the foot, I'm going to press this left hand and this left foot down. I'm going to lift, right? In through the nose, out through the nose. It's all about creating a tight string, which is your arm, with your bow. And release. Wonderful. Make a pillow out of the hands. Turn the head to the side. Breathe here for a moment. Turn the head the other direction. And then coming center. So remember I talked earlier in our meditation about opening the heart as though you had a plexiglass chest and you're trying to show someone your heart. That's essentially still the same feeling that I'd like you to have as we go through this next form of half Durasanas. So those of you with a strap or a daisy chain or something to reach back with, I'm going to ask you to take a loop over the left foot, whack yourself in your face with the, with the strap. Bring the legs closer together. So you could feel when you bend both knees that the feet would be together, right? And so you can go ahead and straighten that right leg out again. We're going to, so you can do two ways. You can just go ahead and reach up, but look how far forward my arm is. What I'd like to see you do is come about halfway back. And I'm going to turn over to the side so you can see. You're going to bring your elbow through and around to your head. So what does that look like from here? My elbow's down and it comes up by my head. At that point, I'm going to press in through the right side, lift, lift, lift. If you want more out of this, you can take both hands and take it back to the strap. Try to straighten that leg. Open up your heart for 5. Keeping the legs center on the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Turn the head, make the hands into a pillow. Let that breath go in through the nose, out through the nose. Turn the head the other way. And guess what? Decided it's not my fault. Take it up with the Creator. I didn't make you. I just work you. Okay? So we're going to take that strap. And so remember, I reached back just a little bit. And then I bring the elbow through. This is ultimately like if you're in dancer's pose or that like king pigeon, you want to reach back and grab your foot. You want to train your elbow to come back there, right? So I've got my left hand out, my left foot rooted so that I can lift up. That might be you today if you want to bring left hand on and really try to straighten that right leg for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Wonderful. Go ahead and turn the head, make it a pillow. And then turn it the other way. And then go ahead and tuck the toes, push up and back into a down dog, do some little wiggles. All right. So what I would like for you guys to do is to do a couple moments of an inversion. And so what do I mean by that? If you have a safe headstand that you would like to do that. If not, you can do supported shoulder stand where you kick up, right? So you choose whichever one you need this morning, and we're going to hold it for several breaths. So go ahead and, excuse me, get set up. And so either supported shoulder stand, don't turn your head in either one of these. So once you're established, that's where you're at. Or headstand of your choice, but you need to be able to hold the headstand. One of my favorite is tripod. It's for some people it's not as secure. Some people like to do the interlace and braid. I'm not a huge fan of that one. But if you do the interlace and braid one, where you put the head, take this bottom pinky finger and put it inside your palm so you're not smashing it between the fingers. Never kick into your headstand. Not my favorite. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So if you're coming down out of headstand, you come into child's pose. If you're coming down out of supported shoulder stand, you go into fish. So child's pose or lower down. Lift your back off the floor, come to the crown of the head. Extend the arms towards the knee. Maybe extend the legs straight. Allow the shoulders to come down. Those of you in child's pose, start to make your way to your back. Turn the head left and right. And then move the shoulders out of the ears. So as you do any final movements that you feel like you need to do, we're moving into Shavasana right now. And so we're moving into that space, that corpse pose that we were talking about earlier, where it's a representation of letting go and surrender and change. And so right now we've all been going through a lot collectively, a lot of change collectively. And so we want to use this space where we become okay with change. And we're going to take the simplest change there is, and that's the breath. And so the breath is always changing. It's always fluctuating. It's always coming from either a really strong place or this smooth, sedated place. It can be long and expansive. It can be short and choppy, right? It changes. It changes from moment to moment, even within the same cadence, from an in to an outward motion. And so just let those moments of change right now, feel the breath changing with each inhale, with each exhale, with each expansion of the breath, with each let go of the exhale. And just experience that change as pleasant, joyful, soothing, natural. The body release naturally. Don't force it. Just let it begin to feel supported by the mat. Feel supported by the breath. Just feel okay in this moment. Maybe even feather into what your purpose is. Even if you think it's small and insignificant, for me to say that. What is your purpose? Is your purpose to bring heart? Is your purpose to be kind and answer phones? What is your purpose? And I'd like you to lay here as long as you can, enjoying the circling of the breath and enjoying the possibility of your purpose being good for someone outside of yourself. Stay here. Stay here and enjoy your meditation for as long as you can. I'll see you guys tomorrow.